Okay, well, here we are in our 1960 bug-eyed Sprite, and I thought I'd take you for a little ride. Before we do, I'll show you a few things about the car, or mention a few. We've got all new gauges on the car. They're all Smith gauges, similar to the original manufacturer. So we've got a new fuel quantity gauge. The speedometer is still the original speedometer from the car. The tach is now an electric tach. It's auto meter. It is, however, fitting in the original bezel. So it's got the original bezel from the Sprite. Rather than having the dual oil pressure, water temperature gauge, this now has separate or individual gauges. It's got a Smith water temp gauge, Smith oil pressure gauge, and now also a Smith voltmeter on it. And all the gauges function normally. Included with the car are two additional gauges that are not installed but will be included, and that's a oil temperature gauge and an ammeter. As you can see, it's got an aftermarket steering wheel. I like the chrome, which kind of accents the chrome on the bezels. There is no horn. The ignition switch and light control switch are new. Everything operates correctly, as do the turn signals. Looking at this center panel, you can see three switches. This switch controls the windshield wipers. The center switch controls the electric fuel pump, and this switch controls the blower motor. It does have a new center console with a padded center armrest which raises up for storage. Other than that, the car does have a 1275cc motor which has been professionally rebuilt. It's now 30 over. It has the rib case transmission and has the original 4.2 differential. Also included with the car is a 3.7 differential for much better cruising, if you'd like. That will be included also with the car, and as well as some other items like mag wheels. So I'll start the car up. To start the car, very simple. Just turn the ignition on. You can see the tach goes to 0. Fuel gauge is coming up. The voltmeter is starting to come up to show battery voltage. You can see perhaps that the temp gauge is at 0, so the car is cold. It hasn't been run yet this morning. So start it. You also get the small ignition light illuminated, and then I don't need to choke it. It starts very easily just by pulling the start switch. And then I turn on the electric fuel pump. As you can see right now, it is cold, and cold oil pressure at idle is about 60 pounds. And here's the voltmeter coming up to a normal charge. Right now it's idling right at around 800 RPM. So I'll take us for a little ride. I'll go up through the gears, downshift through the gears, and you can just see the general operation of the car. There's first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Off the wheel. As I approach the corner here, I'll downshift. There's third gear, second gear, first gear, as you know, is non-synchro, so you got to come to a complete stop. I'll spin around. Hopefully there's not too much wind noise on the recording. I'll accelerate now. And as far as the brakes are concerned, I'll apply the brakes with my hands off the steering wheel. Reverse gear takes a little bit of a tap to get it over, but it goes into reverse gear nicely. And you can see now that the water temperature is just starting to move up on it. I'm still showing around 65 pounds of oil pressure. Battery is charging at about 14 volts, so that's everything there is looking good. Turn signals operate correctly. And the emergency brake will also hold the car, as is necessary. Light switches all work correctly, so the car is pretty much good to go. So this is the car. If you have any questions, please give me a call, or come over and take a look at the car and we'll go for a little drive. Thanks for coming along.